Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to the Phasmophobia review. So, like I said in the community post that I did a little bit ago about the whole update, the channel update, and stuff like that, one of the things that I mentioned is that that the review system has been changed, and so now the reviews will have a max time of 15 minutes, so they won't go over than that. So you guys, because if you want to listen to someone review a game to see if you want to play it, you don't want to sit there for an hour listening to them talk about it, right? You want just a kind of quick thing like, oh, hey, should I get this game or should I not get this game, like that kind of stuff. So, with that being said, the format's kind of the same, but the time thing is the only thing different. Also, you will be seeing old footage of me or whoever playing the game on the screen now, so you won't be, because before we would play the game and then review it at the same time, and it was just too much to focus. Well, I was doing just fine. These two were having a hard time, apparently, talking and then also not paying attention to the game. Didn't make a lot of sense, but anyway. So, also, one last thing before we get started is the whole review thing. We're planning to review the games in order. Obviously, Deltarune and Security Breach and Undertale are non-order whatsoever. But Phas was kind of the first game that we started playing on the channel, so we're starting here. So, the game company / creator. The game company / creator is Kinetic Games. I didn't know about them prior to Phasmophobia. I actually don't know if they've actually made anything else. All I know is that CJ is a artist, and I forgot. I think DK is the programmer, or he's the main dude there. Obviously, they've had their controversies over the years, but I think the game itself doesn't really the game doesn't exactly have problems with that kind of thing. And so I don't know them too well, but all I know is that they made an excellent game. So there you go. And like I said, I don't know about Kinetic Games if they've made anything else. All I know is that they made Phas. So that's all I can say there. Anyway, what is done well? I mean, there's several things that are done well. Let me go over them quickly, though. Honestly, the gameplay structure is obviously done well. So going into an abandoned location, kind of trying, you're not there alone, but you also know that, something suspicious going on, so you got to find the ghost. And this is all from a first-time playthrough, obviously. If you play the game like I do, all the time, then obviously it's not that scary anymore. But on your first time going through, the fear factor is through the roof, because it's dark, it's spooky, there's noises, there's thunder and lightning outside sometimes, and the biggest fear thing is that you're not alone in that house, or you're not alone in that school, or whatever you're in. And so it's very scary, especially in the bigger maps where you could die at any second because of how big the map is. And then, of course, the first hunt that you experience is obviously going to be really terrifying. The ghost comes straight at you and stuff like that. Now, if a new player comes into the game now with all the new updates, it's probably even more scary than it was back when I played it. Because back when I played it, you were faster than the ghost. Well, you weren't faster, but you were both the same speed. So as long as you were ahead of the ghost, they could never catch you, as long as you didn't get in a corner. So theoretically speaking, it's probably scarier now if you were to go into it blind. You've never seen the game before, and I think going in solo, I think, is the best way to do it. You can play with friends and you can play online matches, but I think if you go in solo, that's where the real fear factor comes in. So I think the overall spookiness of it is done well, and then I think all the mechanics are done well. So the whole thing of oh, you got to get 3 pieces of evidence, maybe 2, maybe 1, or maybe none, because it's a gamble. So that can be a thing. I love I love selecting the difficulty. That's pretty fun. This is a video after not too far after, but right after the custom difficulty update. So now you can customize anything you want in the game, which I think is pretty awesome. So there's a lot of things that are done well, but those are kind of the highlights, I would say, and stuff like that. So what could be improved? I think texture-wise they could do a little bit better, but I mean I'm not running a beast PC or anything, so I'm sure it looks better on actual good PCs. Apart from that, I wish for more ghosts, but at this point I don't think we're gonna get any more ghosts. I'd also love to see some new maybe some new death animations, because right now you just have the thing where the ghost puts their hands over your face and snaps your neck, as you do. But that's really the only death thing right now. I wish maybe that it shows from a pool of 5 different ones. You got a random one each time. Maybe one's a jump scare, the other 4 are not, so you kind of are anticipating a jump scare and stuff like that. It's going to be really creepy. I think they should keep the one that goes over the face, because that's traditional and it's classic. But I think maybe what they should do is that, like I said, it pulls from a pool of 5 different animations, and you know, you never know which one you're going to get when you die. And I think that'd be pretty cool. And I think maybe they could use some more sounds. I think more sounds in the game would be pretty nice. Just maybe some like random creepy sounds here and there. Doesn't have to be like thing. Because if you guys remember, if you guys have watched my Inside the Backrooms videos, the Backrooms videos had, like, when we first played, it had really good ambient music. Like, it had, like, not music, but it had really good ambient sounds that made it really creepy. And so I think Phaz could use a little bit more of that, just so it's kind of just, again, even spookier. Apart from that, I think that's all that could be improved at the moment. Like I said, it's not a perfect game by any means, but it's like, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, they're adding new equipment, so that's going to be awesome. They're going to be adding new mechanics and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Anything to add?
So I did have, like, something that I liked about, like, the game. Like, how they coded it. Like, if you use, like, the game chat, if someone's, like, far away, you can't hear them. But like, close by, yeah. Yeah, I can play. I usually play solo, so of course I would forget this. But, yeah, local chat is awesome. I wish I could use, no, sorry, local chat's what I would be using, but I use push to talk. Push to talk is fine and it's really good, but local chat, you just talk all the time and it automatically picks you up. I would use that if the ghost wouldn't kill me instantly the second it hunted, because obviously it picks up literally anything, right? So if you're talking or whispering, the ghost will hear you, whereas push to talk, you need to be pushing for the ghost to hear you. And so it's really dangerous, and I don't want to die by doing that. Maybe that's one of the Phaz Frights incentives I should add. But like, it's really scary, but it does add like ambience. So if you go into the asylum, it's very echoey, like your voice gets very echoey. I think that's a nice touch. But that's not something that could be improved. They already kind of do that. So I think that's a pretty good one. So Zach, you said you didn't have anything?
Yeah, there's not really many like complaints I have for this game. It's really good, and like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I like. The creepiness factor especially is like really good.
We already talked about that. Any problems or glitches? Now, this game has a lot of glitches, but they get fixed pretty quickly. I remember a door used to spawn outside and be flying in the air. I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. There was a bug at one point where the tarot cards, if you got the hangman, there'd be a chance of it not to kill you when it's supposed to. Then there's a glitch where the board would get spawned outside, and so it just didn't work because it was supposed to be spawning inside. So there's been a couple of bugs and glitches, and the problem with this kind of category is this game is not done. And so me pointing out glitches that are currently in the game, where you guys watching this in 2024 might not apply, because the game is probably out by that point and all the bugs and glitches are done, or there's new bugs and glitches because it's not a perfect game, like I said. But it's nowhere near the amount of bugs and glitches that Security Breach had, so gives a thumbs up from me.
You get a thumbs up in that category.
Controls. Controls, what's nice about this game is it's one of those things that you can play with a controller or a keyboard. I prefer keyboard. I'm sure controller's fine. The thing with keyboard is you have a lot more buttons than a controller does. But then again, you're limited to technically 4 cardinal directions. You can obviously move more directions than that, but you have W, H, and D, right? Whereas as a thumbstick, you can go in all directions. So I'm sure there's a plus in that category, but the controls are pretty simple, W, H, and D. They've changed a couple of controls so that like C is crouch, where in some games it's control, which I think is pretty nice. I do like the C though, because it makes it so that my thumb has something to do, instead of like control where I'd have to use my pinky usually to do that. And then they have like F to throw, or F to like use items, and G to throw things. Like they're pretty good controls, and they keep it kind of where your fingers are. So there's not a thing that's tied to P or something. There's not a thing that's tied to O, because those are really far away from your hand, so you'd have to kind of move your hand to get to them. So very good controls, I would say. Graphics, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but graphics, like I said, I'm not running a beastie PC, so I couldn't tell you what the full, like, ultra awesome graphics look like. But like I said, I'm sure that, because what they're planning to do is fixing the whole player model situation where, you know, when you're, like, looking up to everyone else, it looks like your spine is vertical. So they're going to be fixing that, which to me makes me a little bit sad, because I think that's what makes Phas funny, is that, like, you'll look up and the player's spine will be halfway backwards.
It's just a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, I think that's a fun thing to do, but I mean, I see why they would want to get rid of it, because it's not exactly clean. Sound. So with sound is pretty interesting in this game, because during the hunts that's what's important, is sound, because the ghost can see your flashlight. So I mean, if you're coming into for the first time, you probably don't know that, but after time you start realizing that, oh, the ghost can see my flashlight, so you start turning it off, and so you're fully reliant on sound and navigation. Now if you're hiding, then that's all sound at that point, because you're not obviously playing the game, you're just waiting. And man, I'll tell you what, I think it's the singing ghost and then the laughing ghost, I think, are the creepiest to me, because it's just like, it's this weird person laughing and giggling, and the person singing, like humming. It's like they're trying to kill me right now. Why are they laughing? They're maniacal and whatever. But I also think that the silent ghosts are also pretty creepy, because you don't know where they are. You're only like you can only tell where they are based on their footsteps, and that's kind of creepy. So yeah, sound is very well done in this game, and I think I kind of said that already, but that's kind of where I'm at with that. Story and characters. This game doesn't exactly rely on story at all. I've noticed they've been adding like slight lore into the game a little bit, but at the current state of the game, when we're recording this, there's really not too much lore in it that I can really talk about. If there is going to be lore in the game, I'm totally going to be the MatPat of this game. MatPat has FNAF over there. I'll be the Phas person. Just because, like I said, this is one of my favorite games, so naturally I would be involved in it. But I mean, right now it's kind of simple. There's the asylum person that's kind of trapped in the room, and then you had the shadow guy that used to be up in the ceiling. So he's kind of strange. But I don't know what they're there for. And obviously, if you use the UV light, you can kind of check around the map and kind of check. But like I said, it doesn't really rely on story and characters. Replayability, infinite. You can play this game infinite times. There's no story, like I said. So you can play this game until you're 90 or until you're dead. So infinite replayability there. Let's see. Last categories here. Personal takes. This is one of my favorite games, honestly. You know, like I said, I started playing this before the channel even existed. I wasn't very high leveled, so I hadn't played it for years or anything like some people have. But I have played the game for a while now, and like I said, it's very fun. It's very engaging, and because of the replayability, it keeps me coming back, and so does the updates. Every time they do an update, it keeps me coming back all the time. So very good on that. So Zach, personal takes.
This is definitely like a really good game. Definitely one of my favorites, I would say, and definitely better than a lot of the games I've played, like, before I started playing this game. But yeah, I've been really hooked to this game, and I just enjoy playing it whenever I do. And it's just like the fact that like every game is gonna be different. I just like love those types of games that are just like different every time and not just the same thing over.
Okay, Isabel.
Yeah, so when I was first introduced into this game, I was like scared, because I was like, oh no, it's ghosts and like the scariness, but that's just like first time playing. But I was glad I was introduced to this game, because like I don't like playing alone, but I like playing with other people. So especially with Ethan, because he has like 500 plus hours in this game.
600 now.
Yeah, okay, it's actually 600.
I'm sorry, 600.
We're gaining on 700.
Okay, so yeah, so whenever I play with these guys, I always like to learn from them so I can improve on my gameplay. And I also like to improve on my gameplay by watching Ethan like play Fast Fights or Fast with Friends. other stuff like that.
Yeah, I usually use very strong technique. Like, I use techniques that you should only be using if you play the game as long as I have. Like, there will be times, like, I'll play so I haven't done this on fast fights because it's too dangerous right now, especially with fast fights, where if I die, I lose the character, unless I buy a revive. But if I play normally with friends, what I'll do is I'll, like, run from the ghost without a smudge stick. Like, that might seem stupid for veterans that are, like, listening to this, but it's like, if you cannot run the ghost for a little bit until they start catching up, then it's a problem. But usually I can outmaneuver them sometimes. So yeah, there you go. Is it worth it? Yes. Simple as that. Yes. Final rating out of 10. So, of course, we always rate the games based on what we've already rated so far. We rated Chapter 2 of Deltarune. That was a 7. I still kind of disagree with that one.
Oh, I thought that was a 9. I thought we gave.
Or maybe it was a 9.
Breach a 7.
So, no, that's right. Security Breach was a 7. Undertale was a 10 out of 10 for obvious reasons. It's not a perfect game, so I can't give it a 10, but I can go to 9. I think that's the lowest I want to go with. Giving it an 8 and saying, you know, I don't think it's weak. I don't think it's weak enough for an 8, so I'm going to go with 9. Like I said, like what we've said before, the game is really awesome, and you guys should definitely go play it for yourselves. If you've been watching my content, and you've seen all these different fast stuff that I'm doing, and you still haven't played it yet, then you absolutely should. This is my opinion, so what do you guys think?
Yeah, for me, I was either between like 8 or 9, so I'm gonna go with 9, cause obviously it had like a lot of bugs, and the great thing about it is that it gets fixed very fast, so no more bugs. So
Okay, Zachary?
Yeah, I was definitely riding like in 9 territory, maybe 8, but I definitely think 9. In fact, 9 is now confirmed because you get to make your spine into a 90-degree angle.
That was terrible. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be it from us, guys. So like I said, you should go check out the game and support the game. It's only I believe it's only like $11 or something. It's not that expensive. Can I still buy it? Yeah, I could. 14. So it's actually not that much. That's very low, especially in the gaming world now, where like $60 is the normal price for games. So it's definitely worth your money. And like I said at the very beginning of this, it's still in development, so it's gonna keep getting updated. It's gonna keep getting awesome things. They have a horror 2.0 thing coming out eventually, where they're going to be revamping the entire horror aspect of it, which I think is awesome. I think the horror 2.0 is where they're going to be adding maybe new death animations and stuff like that, which is awesome. So that's going to be it from us, guys. So let us know if you like this whole new review setup. I know we went over 15 minutes, but you know it's one of our favorite games, so we'll go over a little bit. But the target time is 15, right? We're not going to go to the hours that we were doing before. So let us know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, and thank you guys so much for watching, and the link to go get this game from Steam will be in the description below, as it will be in all other Phas videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.